Hello and welcome back to my videos, or if you're new here, welcome to my videos. And my videos, I go on some wild tangents or mild tangents about things that I like. Um, and in the future, it's going to be videos maybe about criticism of things that I have enjoyed or franchises that I enjoy. In this one, it's going to be another video in the series of why I like. And it's going to be why I like model kits. So to kind of start this off, I have a very blanket term for what a model kit is. I've found a couple of different definitions. Some of them describe depictions of real vehicles. Some of them just describe like characters or designs brought into a buildable format. And I think that second one is more accurate. It's a model kit is where you have parts to something that you want to build to create the representation that of that thing, right? So if I'm looking at a tank and I go to build it, I want to accurately represent that tank. Some model kits come with it's a grayscale format to where you have to primer it and then paint it and then do all the details yourself. Some come pre-painted. Some come in more color accurate plastic, but without the full details. So they'll give you like decals or stickers or paints to add on to that. Um, well, some model kits require more effort than others as far as holding them together, holding the pieces together. So, like, you might need model cement or plastic cement or model glue. I've seen people use super glue. It all varies. And with that, it's kind of a weird one to try to declare what specifically is a model kit. So I mean, if I look at a miniature for like Warhammer 40K, yes, I have to assemble it. Yes, I have to paint it. And yes, I have to put it on a stand. That doesn't disqualify it from being a model kit, but it also doesn't specifically limit it to being just a miniature, right? And I think that alone helps broaden the range and what you look at as model kits. Um, but all that aside, and a stupid 2 minute ramble about how I qualify what is a model kit. Why I like model kits is, again, I've said it in my videos before, and I'm going to keep saying it. I like variety. I like multiple range of things. That way I can take a break from something and go to something else and then come back to it if it feels like it's in a place that I enjoy again. So that's a bit of a long-winded way of saying I just like variety. Um, I like the various franchises that are expressed or presented through model kits. Gundam is a major one. Digimon, Pokemon. Um I like the designs from Armored Core. I'm not really familiar with the franchise itself, so that's a down the line me learning that kind of thing. But I think the designs are cool, so that's an easy like foot in the door. Um, Yu-Gi-Oh, Zoids, um, Good Smile Company's been doing model kits for some of the older mech series that I don't think I can really find the figures for at a decent price. So they've been a good one up for me on that one. I love like the Brave series, not the Disney cartoon, but it's a bunch of giant robots that all, I think it's 6 series, 5 series. I don't remember exactly how many franchises there are, but they all have their own unique transformations and features and stories. And I think the designs are cool. And I'll definitely have to get into watching them That way I can kind of understand more about the different stories. But the designs themselves definitely have me sold. Uh, I don't think it's difficult to sell me on giant robots. So that in buildable form is just a win-win. Um, Now, to that, there's different companies. I just said one of them, which was the Good Smile Company. Um, there's Bandai, Kotobukiya, Tamiya. Um, there's more like realistic model kits that I don't really particularly delve into myself, but they are available. There's cars, trains, planes, military vehicles. There's giant robots. There's dinosaurs, and it's all a fun, wide variety. And then with that comes the various scales. And I know Bandai has their grades. I don't know what other companies go with grades for their model kits, but the scales are 1 to 100, 1 to 144, 1 to 60. I think there was a 1 to 550. Um, Basically, the size of the thing is dependent on the scale, and then what franchise you look at, it gets more in detail depending on the grade and the scale. So, again, I'm referring back to Bandai for this: high grade, master grade, pro grade, real grade. Um, there's entry grade, first grade. You know what? Just say all the grades. Um, but with each of those grades, there comes a level of detail and effort that one might have to put into finishing that. But then at the same time, it all depends on your taste, right? If I'm just dipping my toes into the water for model kits, I'm not gonna want to go into something that's super complicated and requires me to put in, you know, like 3 weeks of effort to make it all perfect. And sure, you can say painting and top coating and all that stuff might take that long, but um, I I personally like to just do very fine details and then just leave it as is. I like seeing the product as close to a raw form as possible when it's fully assembled. That way I can see all the neat little details or the things that can be highlighted, and it helps me learn and understand like what I'm looking at, right? Um, and that's just the fun of it for me. Uh, I I've had fun getting friends to build model kits, letting them like test the waters and see if it's for them. And I always give them a heads up, like, hey, if you like this thing, you can try it. I'm not going to tell you you should. Um, and I'm always someone who, if I offer that suggestion, I also offer to buy like a first model kit for them or something like that. If I invite you to like a food place, you've never been there, I'm going to offer to pay for it. So that way, if you like it, I don't feel bad about you wanting to go again. But if you don't like it, I also don't feel bad and don't feel like you wasted your money and your time, right? Um, so that's the mentality I tend to have towards any hobby, and I think that's a fair way to kind of open up the doors for anybody who's new to it. Um, and yeah, so I kind of want to throw in a little bit of my history with model kits and what got me started. So I watched Gundam Wing when it was first released to America. Again, it don't ask me the exact year. I should have looked it up, but I know I was rather young. I want to say maybe elementary or middle school, and it the model kit that was available that I got was a 1 to 100 no grade. It might have been a no grade or a high grade Gundam Wing, and it was relatively simple to build and get all together. But um, when I was younger, I didn't understand, like, hey, you should look to see if all the parts are there. So it was missing parts, and eventually it just got thrown in the trash because, missing parts. And it's taken apart, like what good is it going to do, right? I Again, younger me versus older me. Older me, I'm like, nah, how can I fix that? But younger me was just, okay, it's missing things. I'm probably not going to get another one. Throw it away. Um, so that was my first model kit experience, and I liked the assembly of it. I liked being able to build that design. And over the years, I'd seen more and more come out, and I wish I'd gotten onto it a lot younger. But again, life was not exactly easy for my family, so I'm not upset. Um, Hell, I do my best to convey trying out those kinds of waters for my family so that way they can check things out while they have the chance to. And if it's for them, it's for them. If it's not, it's not. I'm not going to tell any of them that they have to do something, right? Um, but back to my history with them is as I get older, I had seen more come out, and my I think it's either my second or my third model kit ever was the Master Grade Gundam Epion, which is quite a drastic dive compared to a high grade, whether it's a 1 to 100 high grade or 1 to 144 high grade. Um, and it was definitely a learning experience. And when my family had gone through our hardships, I lost track of it, don't know where it went, and I honestly I kind of miss it. I'm looking forward to buying another one and rebuilding it now. Um, and it took some time for me to actually finally be able to get my full foot into the door for model kits. And when I did, I absolutely adored it. It's the being able to create things part, but also getting to see all the little details that go into it. And I think any of my family who understands me and who are like me, I offer them that opportunity so that way they can see if they like it. And it's, I think it's great. Um, and again, I think this is going to be the end of the video. It's a 10-minute rant about me discussing different aspects of model kits. Um, and I thank you for your time. And I hope I can get any sort of feedback or any suggestions for different model kits, that kind of stuff, as I continue to put out these kinds of series. I hope I get feedback in those videos to similar things. And I appreciate any support whatsoever. Thank you.